For millions of fans across generations, Harry Potter wasn't just a film series. It was a portal into a world of magic, friendship, and the eternal battle between good and evil. But beyond the spells and adventures on screen, the actors who gave life to these beloved characters carried their own personal stories, triumphs, and heartbreaks. Some left us too soon, their journeys cut short by fate, yet their impact remains as powerful as ever. Today, we pay tribute to 15 remarkable performers who helped create the magic and whose memory continues to inspire us. Alan Rickman as Severus Snape. Alan Rickman's portrayal of Severus Snape in the Harry Potter films stands as one of the most masterful and unforgettable character studies in modern cinema. When Rickman was cast as Snape in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, he was 55 years old and already widely celebrated for his astonishing range on stage and screen. From the moment he first appeared on screen, clad in sweeping black robes with his piercing dark eyes and that unmistakable deliberate voice, Rickman made the character his own. His Snape was a figure of mystery and menace, keeping both the characters and the audience perpetually off balance. Every glance, every pause, every measured syllable added layers to the man whose true nature remained hidden until the saga's final chapters. Rickman's performance was a study in nuance. The way he could deliver the simplest lines with chilling ambiguity, whether with a faint sneer, a subtle curl of the lip, or a look of disdain that suggested deeper wounds, made Snape endlessly fascinating. He transformed scenes that could have felt ordinary into moments heavy with tension. Audiences found themselves watching him closely, always searching for clues to his real intentions. His scenes with Harry were especially charged, filled with unspoken pain, suppressed anger, and fleeting glimpses of something almost like care. It was only in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows that Snape's full truth was revealed. A man who had loved Lily Potter so deeply that he spent a lifetime protecting her son, even at the cost of his own reputation and happiness. Rickman had known this secret from the start, having been entrusted with Snape's arc by J.K. Rowling herself. That knowledge shaped his choices, the flickers of regret, the moments of conflicted loyalty, the subtle sorrow that colored his interactions with Harry and Dumbledore alike. His final moments, in which Snape's eyes reflect a lifetime of sacrifice, stand among the most heartbreaking in the series. Rickman's legacy, of course, extends beyond Harry Potter. He first became known to global audiences as the charismatic villain Hans Gruber in Die Hard, but he refused to be typecast. His career encompassed roles as varied as the romantic Colonel Brandon in Sense and Sensibility, the soulful ghost in Truly, Madly, Deeply, the comic villain Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and numerous lauded stage performances with the Royal Shakespeare Company. Off-screen, Rickman was known for his wit, his generosity to fellow actors, and his deep loyalty to friends and collaborators. In August 2015, Rickman was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. True to his private nature, he chose to keep the illness confidential, continuing to work and to support the causes and people he cared about without seeking sympathy or attention. When he passed away on January 14, 2016, at the age of 69, the news sent shockwaves around the world. Tributes poured in from fellow actors, directors, and fans, each one reflecting the profound respect and admiration Rickman inspired. His death left a void, but his artistry endures. Richard Harris as Albus Dumbledore. Richard Harris brought dignity, kindness, and gravitas to the role of Albus Dumbledore, the wise and compassionate headmaster of Hogwarts. At 71, when he was cast for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in 2001, Harris was already a titan of stage and screen. With his gentle Irish lilt, twinkling blue eyes, and air of quiet authority, he crafted a Dumbledore who radiated warmth and reassurance. His presence calmed audiences and characters alike, a figure who seemed above the chaos, offering guidance without judgment. Every scene he graced felt anchored by his subtlety. A comforting hand on Harry's shoulder, a knowing smile during a feast, a solemn gaze as danger grew near. Harris's career had spanned decades, with celebrated roles in Camelot, This Sporting Life, and The Field. Yet his Dumbledore reached a new generation, introducing him to millions of young fans who saw in him the embodiment of wisdom and gentleness. Behind the scenes, however, Harris was fighting a private battle. Diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, he continued working through his illness with remarkable strength. He completed his work on Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets before his health rapidly declined. On October 25, 2002, Harris passed away at 72, only weeks after the film wrapped. His death was deeply mourned by fans and colleagues alike. Though he appeared in just 2 films, his interpretation of Dumbledore set the tone for the character and left an indelible mark on the series. His Dumbledore lives on as the grandfatherly figure we all wished we had, wise, kind, and unflinchingly good. Michael Gambin as Albus Dumbledore. Michael Gambin stepped into the role of Albus Dumbledore following Richard Harris's passing, and he made the character his own with grace, complexity, and strength. At 64, when he first appeared in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban in 2004, Gambin chose not to imitate his predecessor. Instead, he brought new layers to the headmaster, a man still wise and kind, but with a sharper edge, a hint of vulnerability beneath the surface. Gambin's Dumbledore was capable of humor and warmth, yet his eyes often seemed clouded with unspoken burdens. This was a man who had seen much, who carried secrets and sorrows that even those closest to him could not fully grasp. His performance grew darker as the series progressed. From his impassioned pleas in the cave to his final moments on the astronomy tower, Gambin's Dumbledore was a figure of immense emotional weight. His portrayal gave audiences a headmaster who was deeply human, fallible, at times conflicted, but always striving to do what was right. Outside of Harry Potter, Gambin was celebrated as one of the finest actors of his generation, with a career that spanned stage and screen. He starred in everything from The Singing Detective to The King's Speech, earning admiration for his versatility and power. On September 27, 2023, Gambin passed away at the age of 82, following a battle with pneumonia. His legacy as Dumbledore remains profound, a reminder that true leadership requires both strength and humility, and that even the wisest of us are not immune to pain. Robbie Coltrane as Rubas Hagrid. Robbie Coltrane brought to life one of the most beloved characters in the Harry Potter universe, Rubas Hagrid, the towering half-giant with a heart of gold. Cast at age 51 in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Coltrane's performance was nothing short of magical. He perfectly captured Hagrid's mix of gentle kindness, fierce loyalty, and occasional clumsiness. From the moment Hagrid delivered baby Harry to the Dursleys' doorstep, audiences knew this was a character who would forever protect and cherish the boy who lived. Coltrane's Hagrid wasn't just a friend to Harry. He was family, the first to show Harry unconditional love in a world that had often been cruel to him. Off-screen, Coltrane was known for his generosity, intelligence, and humor. A gifted actor with a background in both comedy and drama, he had already made his mark in works like Cracker and Goldeneye. But it was Hagrid that made him a household name to a new generation. His booming laugh, twinkling eyes, and deep, gravelly voice became inseparable from the character. As the films progressed, Coltrane's Hagrid grew even more endearing, from raising dangerous creatures to fighting alongside Harry in the Battle of Hogwarts. Despite health struggles in later years, Coltrane continued to meet fans and speak fondly of his time in the role. On October 14, 2022, at age 72, he passed away due to complications from multiple organ failure and osteoarthritis. Coltrane once reflected that Hagrid would outlive him on screen and continue to comfort future generations. And indeed, through Hagrid, Robbie Coltrane's warmth, humor, and humanity will always live on. Maggie Smith as Minerva McGonagal. When Maggie Smith first appeared as Professor Minerva McGonagal in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone at age 66, she instantly commanded the screen with her regal presence and razor-sharp wit. Smith's McGonagal was the embodiment of fairness and strength, a figure of authority who also showed genuine care for her students. Her stern demeanor was always balanced with moments of quiet compassion, whether it was comforting a homesick first year or standing by Harry in his darkest hours. Audiences marveled at her ability to make McGonagal both formidable and deeply lovable, a teacher we wished we'd had. Smith filmed many of her scenes while privately battling cancer, a fact that only underscored her extraordinary dedication and resilience. Despite her health challenges, she never let it affect the quality of her work. Her McGonagal evolved from strict transfiguration professor to battle-hardened leader in the final showdown against Voldemort, with unforgettable moments like animating the statues of Hogwarts for its defense, delivered as always with understated power and grace. Off-screen, Smith's career spanned over 6 decades, with countless awards and accolades. She was celebrated for roles in Downton Abbey, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, and The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, among many others. Smith passed away on September 27, 2024, at age 89. She left behind not only an incredible body of work, but also a McGonagal who continues to inspire with her intelligence, loyalty, and quiet heroism. For many, she remains the heart of Hogwarts. Richard Griffiths as Vernon Dursley. Richard Griffiths took on the role of Vernon Dursley, Harry Potter's unpleasant and narrow-minded uncle, at age 53 in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, 2001. His portrayal transformed Vernon from a simple antagonist into a character of surprising depth. With his blustering voice, beet-red face, and perfectly timed expressions of outrage and fear, Griffiths made Vernon both loathsome and darkly humorous. Audiences couldn't help but chuckle at Vernon's frantic attempts to keep Harry's magical heritage a secret, even as they rooted against him. Griffiths found the humanity in a man driven by terror of the unknown and desperation to maintain control in a world he didn't understand. Beyond Harry Potter, Griffiths was one of Britain's most esteemed actors, celebrated for his commanding stage presence in The History Boys and his memorable work in Withnail and I. His performances were marked by wit, warmth, and a rare ability to breathe life into even the most flawed characters. On March 28, 2013, Griffiths passed away at the age of 65 from complications following heart surgery. His death was deeply felt across the theatrical and film communities. In Harry Potter, his Vernon Dursley serves as a symbol of the ignorance and cruelty Harry had to overcome, but Griffiths's layered performance ensured the character was more than just a villain. Through his work, he reminded audiences that even the worst adversaries are human, driven by fear and frailty. His talent, generosity, and larger-than-life spirit are remembered fondly to this day. Helen McCroy as Narcissa Malfoy. Helen McCroy brought grace, complexity, and quiet strength to the role of Narcissa Malfoy, a character who might easily have been overlooked in lesser hands. Cast at 40 in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, McCroy transformed Narcissa into a figure of haunting dignity. As the mother of Draco, torn between her family's ties to Voldemort and her fierce love for her son, McCrory's Narcissa became a powerful symbol of a parent's willingness to do anything for their child's safety. Her performance was filled with subtle glances, measured words, and an unshakable resolve that made even her few moments on screen unforgettable. In real life, McCroy was celebrated for her versatility on stage and screen. From Peaky Blinders to The Queen and Skyfall, she portrayed an extraordinary range of characters, always with intelligence and intensity. She was admired not only for her craft, but also for her generosity, humor, and humility. Off-screen, McCroy was a passionate supporter of charities and the arts. In April 2021, after a private battle with cancer, she passed away at the age of 52, leaving behind a legacy of courage and compassion. Fans continue to remember her for the humanity she brought to Narcissa, a woman who risked everything to protect what mattered most. In her hands, Narcissa Malfoy was no longer just a name in a family tree of villains, but a mother whose quiet heroism shone in the darkest moments. John Hurt as Garrick Ollivander. John Hurt's portrayal of Garrick Ollivander, the mysterious and wise wand-maker, added an air of ancient magic to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in 2001. At 61, Hurt, already an icon of stage and screen, stepped into Ollivander's shop and delivered a performance that was as delicate as it was powerful. His soft, deliberate speech and piercing gaze made that first meeting between Harry and Ollivander feel momentous. As if destiny itself had been set in motion the moment the right wand chose the boy who lived. With only a few scenes, Hurt imbued Ollivander with a weight of history, hinting at the centuries of lore and mystery surrounding the wand-maker's craft. Outside the wizarding world, Hurt's career was legendary. He gave unforgettable performances in films like The Elephant Man, Alien, Midnight Express, and countless others. His ability to convey deep emotion and humanity with the barest movement or a change of tone made him one of Britain's most beloved actors. In 2015, Hurt revealed that he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Despite his illness, he continued to work, demonstrating the resilience and dedication that defined his life. On January 25, 2017, Hurt passed away at the age of 77. Though his role in Harry Potter was small in screen time, it was immense in impact. Fans remember his Ollivander as a keeper of secrets, a craftsman whose knowledge of wand lore was matched only by his quiet dignity. Hurt's legacy continues through the magic he brought to every performance, a reminder that even the smallest roles can leave the deepest impressions. Robert Hardy as Cornelius Fudge. When Robert Hardy first appeared as Cornelius Fudge in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, he was 66 years old and already one of Britain's most respected actors. Hardy's Fudge was the perfect embodiment of a man who rose to power but was ill-equipped to face its challenges. He played the Minister for Magic as pompous and overly self-assured, yet always with an undercurrent of fear and denial. Hardy captured the tragic arc of Fudge's character, a leader who, in the face of Voldemort's return, chose to bury his head in the sand rather than confront the terrifying reality. His performance gave weight to the series' political themes, showing how weakness at the top could endanger an entire society. Beyond Harry Potter, Hardy was celebrated for his portrayals of historical figures, particularly Winston Churchill, and for his long-running role in All Creatures, Great and Small. His voice and bearing carried the authority of a man who knew his craft deeply and loved it dearly. Hardy's career spanned more than 70 years, a remarkable legacy of versatility and excellence. He passed away on August 3, 2017, at the age of 91, having left behind a body of work that enriched British television, film, and stage. His Cornelius Fudge remains a potent reminder within Harry Potter of how dangerous denial and political cowardice can be, a lesson that resonates far beyond the walls of Hogwarts. Roger Lloyd Pack as Barty Crouch Sr. Roger Lloyd Pack was 55 when he took on the role of Barty Crouch Sr. in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Known best at that point for his beloved comic turn as Trigger in Only Fools and Horses, Lloyd Pack surprised audiences with his stark, somber portrayal of the upright, rule-bound ministry official. His Barty Crouch Sr. was a man consumed by duty, haunted by the shame of his son's crimes, and ultimately broken by the impossible choices he'd had to make. Lloyd Pack's performance, though confined to just one film, left a lasting impression. His every scene crackled with tension and unspoken grief. He showed that in a world of magic and wonder, human failings could still be the most devastating force of all. Lloyd Pack's career was rich and varied, spanning television, film, and stage. He had the rare ability to move seamlessly between comedy and drama, always bringing authenticity to his roles. Off-screen, he was admired for his generosity, humility, and quiet activism. In 2014, after a battle with pancreatic cancer, Lloyd Pack passed away at the age of 69. His death was deeply felt across the British entertainment community. In Harry Potter, his Barty Crouch Sr. reminds us that even the most rigid of men can be undone by sorrow and secrets, and that sometimes the greatest tragedy lies not in what a person has done, but in what they had to endure. Vern Troyer as Griphook. Vern Troyer's appearance as Griphook the Goblin in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone added a distinctive layer to the film's magical world. At 38, Troyer brought a sly intelligence and precision to the Goblin who introduced Harry to the wonders and secrets of Gringots Bank. Though his role was small, Troyer's Griphook played a key part in establishing the sense of danger and mystery that surrounded wizarding treasure and the hidden workings of the magical economy. Troyer's sharp expressions and controlled movements made Griphook feel both intriguing and slightly menacing, a perfect fit for the ancient, secretive world of goblin bankers. Troyer was known globally for his role as Mini-Me in the Austin Powers films, where his impeccable comic timing and expressive face made him an audience favorite. Beyond comedy, he worked tirelessly in film and television, often speaking openly about the challenges he faced as a person with dwarfism. His openness, humor, and resilience won him the respect of colleagues and fans alike. On April 21, 2018, at the age of 49, Troyer passed away following struggles with mental health and alcohol addiction. His death was ruled a suicide, and it sparked important conversations about support and compassion for those facing similar battles. In Harry Potter, Troyer's contribution helped bring to life the richness of a magical world, and in his broader career, he showed that talent and spirit can overcome even the greatest of obstacles. Paul Grant as Gringots Goblin. Paul Grant's contribution to the Harry Potter universe, though subtle, helped build the authenticity of its magical world. Cast at age 45 in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Grant portrayed one of the goblins of Gringots, the keepers of wizarding wealth and secrets. With his distinctive features, expressive eyes, and precise physicality, Grant gave life to a creature who, though small in stature, radiated an air of authority and mystery. His work added texture to that unforgettable first visit Harry and Hagrid made to the Wizarding Bank, a scene that set the tone for the magical discoveries that followed. Grant's career stretched beyond Harry Potter. He was part of other legendary fantasy worlds, including Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, where he played an Ewok, and Labyrinth, where his presence helped bring Jim Henson's creations to life. Known for his dedication and professionalism, Grant worked not only as an actor but also as a stunt performer, a testament to his versatility and courage. His off-screen life was marked by both triumphs and struggles, but he was remembered fondly by colleagues for his humor, generosity, and passion for his craft. On March 20, 2023, Paul Grant passed away at the age of 56. His sudden loss was felt deeply by the communities who knew and worked with him. While his role in Harry Potter might have been brief, it remains part of the intricate magic that made the films feel so real. Through Grant's dedication, fans were able to lose themselves fully in the wizarding world, where every detail mattered, and every character, no matter how small, helped weave the spell. Elizabeth Spriggs as the Fat Lady. Elizabeth Spriggs's turn as the Fat Lady in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone may have been brief, but it left a lasting impression. Cast at age 77, Spriggs brought her vast theatrical experience to the role of the portrait who guarded the entrance to Gryffindor Tower. With a dramatic flair and playful scolding, she made the Fat Lady more than just a gatekeeper. She became a charming part of the castle's living magic. Her expressions of mock indignation, her exaggerated demands for the password, and her comic timing delighted audiences and added a moment of levity to the story's early scenes. Spriggs was no stranger to captivating performances. A veteran of the Royal Shakespeare Company and National Theatre, she had a gift for blending authority with humor and warmth. Her career included memorable appearances in films like Sense and Sensibility, Cold Comfort Farm, and countless television dramas, where she often played characters as sharp-tongued as they were lovable. Off-stage, Spriggs was known for her dedication to her craft and her generosity as a mentor to younger actors. On July 2, 2008, Spriggs passed away at the age of 78 after a series of strokes. Her death was mourned across the British theatre and film communities, where she had been admired for decades. Though her role in Harry Potter was small, fans continue to remember her Fat Lady with fondness. She brought a touch of classic stage magic to Hogwarts, reminding us that even the castle's paintings had personalities as vivid as the witches and wizards who lived there. Dave Leeno as Fenrir Greyback. Dave Leeno's portrayal of Fenrir Greyback, the savage werewolf loyal to Voldemort, added a terrifying edge to the later Harry Potter films. First appearing at age 45 in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Leeno's Greyback was a figure of pure menace, a predator who relished violence and whose very presence on screen made audiences uneasy. His towering physique, piercing eyes, and guttural voice combined to create a villain as frightening as any in the wizarding world. In the chaos of battle scenes, Leeno's Greyback was unforgettable, the embodiment of uncontrolled, primal danger. Away from the set, Leeno was as far from his fearsome character as one could imagine. Known for his kindness, humility, and adventurous spirit, he was respected not only as an actor but also as a professional mixed martial artist. He brought discipline and dedication to everything he did, whether training in the ring or preparing for a role. Leeno embraced the challenges of both physical and emotional performance, always seeking to bring authenticity to his work. In July 2014, while hiking alone in California's Death Valley, Leeno tragically died of heat-related complications at the age of 50. The news shocked fans and colleagues who remembered him as a gentle giant, a man whose real-life courage and generosity stood in stark contrast to the darkness of the characters he played. In Harry Potter, his greyback added to the sense of real danger that Voldemort's forces brought to the wizarding world, and in life, Leeno's adventurous spirit and kind heart left a legacy far richer than any villain's tale. Which of these unforgettable actors' performances touched your heart the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if this tribute meant something to you, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories celebrating the artists who brought magic to life.